Hello, this is Off the Record, a podcast brought to you by the Valdosta Daily Times. I'm Dalton, and this is my co-person Desiree.
Hello.
Today on Off the Record, we're on the record with Box Prints, a progressive pop punk band from Valdosta. Could you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Trey. I play rhythm guitar and I sing.
I'm Jose. I'm the bassist and backup vocals.
I'm Garrett. I'm the lead guitarist and other things.
Hippie.
The fashionable one.
I'm Garrett. No. I'm Tyler, and I hit things.
Very loud things, specifically.
Many different things.
Sometimes at different speeds.
Sometimes the rest of the band.
It's pretty abusive.
Mostly the rest of the band.
So Box Prints' first single, Cat, was just released, and they have been a part of this new wave of DIY music coming out in the last year or so. So tell me a little bit about your new single.
Cat was written. I hate to be that kid, but Cat was written right after a breakup.
Okay, no, that's cool.
It's fine.
And,
just be that kid.
And come out of high school, this girl broke up with me because I wasn't like pushing myself to the limit, and I was like, girl, I'm only 18. I'm just getting fresh out of high school, summer vacation.
Just like 10
So
minutes ago. This was just before we got here.
I was about to say this seems
I think that's really cool.
which I actually would listen to your second single, Girl, I'm Just 18. Like, I'd listen to that song in a
follow-up?
Yeah, the follow-up.
Cat part 2,
Yeah.
parentheses, I'm just 18.
He will write it when he turns 18.
You know, when I first heard it, I wasn't sure if it was actually about like a romantic relationship because it definitely seems like it's about like a toxic relationship.
Oh God, it was
But
very toxic.
yeah, obviously, yeah. But it doesn't seem like explicitly about like a girl or something like that. So I think that's a credit to the
I
writing of it.
definitely tried to write. I definitely wanted to keep that in mind, like someone who, if you were in that position of someone like trying to push you, and I don't know, just I wanted definitely to for viewers to listen to it and have their own memories connect to it instead of me just telling a story about it.
Yeah, to have them sort of like bring their own experience to the song. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a powerful way to write songs. So.
And as you notice, it's not about cats.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
about
no.
cats.
It's an acronym. You
More
know,
about dogs.
Acronym.
it's an acronym.
Yeah, it is an acronym.
It's
to-
not actually a cat. So, you know, it's an acronym, and, you know, people obviously wouldn't know that listening to the song or just looking at the name. But, you know, it started as a joke. I was like, why don't we just placeholder name, call it Cat? Because that's something, a theme that we've encountered since Box Print started is we don't know how to name songs. So we put placeholder names. And then the placeholder names end up being the actual names, you know? So we're like,
terrible.
interesting. Yeah, so, you know.
Let's name the song.
So, you know, Cat, it was like, okay. And then we just kept calling it Cat. It's like, hey, let's practice Cat. Let's go over Cat. And boom, it just remained Cat. So, you know.
We have that is a very toxic thing that we do is we just name songs, whatever. We have a song called Boy Booze, which stands for put on your best pair of old schools. I tried to think of the punkest thing. I was like, you
I
know
thought it was
what?
poo-poo.
Poo-poos. That's what everyone calls it, poo-poos.
Yeah. So y'all are working towards releasing some more music?
Oh, yes.
Yes, very soon,
We're,
actually.
Okay.
Next
You
month,
haven't
actually.
quite announced it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we're not like announcing it, but we haven't hit the studio for it. We're hitting the studio in a few weeks.
Well,
Okay.
you just did announce it.
Oh yeah, well, this is the official announcement.
Can I?
Am I allowed to?
Well, we don't have a release date for it. Definitely not. But it is a fairly brand new song. It is a Box Print song, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a Soul Machine song.
It could be.
have,
You never know.
we
Yeah.
have 2/3
I
of
think
Soul
I'm playing
Machine.
that band
We're
too.
gonna cover it.
We're gonna cover.
We're gonna be a Box Prints cover band.
So Garrett and Tyler are both in a local band called Soul Machine, and their third member, what's his name? I'm sorry. Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. He plays bass, right?
Plays bass. He's also my boss.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, there you go.
He's also my dad.
Slash bass player.
He's not my dad.
So
You're not my dad.
they're also
think he's
Box
my dad.
Prince, but they're also 2/3 of Soul Machine.
We
So it's
are.
almost like we're talking to 1 2/3 of a local band right now.
Yeah.
That was a good math.
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 Looky there.
Nice math.
I don't know,
Good.
man.
Went
It's
right
fast
over my
enough.
head.
Good
Can't do
job.
math.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do the math.
So yeah, I usually jump in here, and we'd love to hear about your name. Which, by the way, I've been saying Box Princess like all day, and it's Box Prince.
Princess.
Yeah, sorry,
Princess.
it just comes out of my mouth easier that way somehow.
Maybe we
And
should
I was
change
like,
our
that
name.
is not that
That's-
is not their name.
You know what? Everyone's like, whenever I tell someone what our band's called, they're like, Box Springs?
Oh man, it's a meme at this point. Box Spring?
Box Springs?
Oh, that's what I thought it was at first. I was like, oh, we're gonna be in this
I
new
have to
band called
spell
Box
it
Spring.
out sometimes to people because they just don't.
I call them the box queens a lot of the time when they're being salty.
Box Queens. I
Box
think you could
Queens.
also get
Yeah.
behind.
I think halfway through our career we should change our name to Box Kings.
Oh yeah, you should just keep going up.
Like how Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
did it.
And then eventually
Box
we
dictator.
will like
Yeah.
rise to
Box
the
Box
Supreme Lord.
Monarchy.
Yeah. Just keep going upward. But yeah, so Box Prince, where did that specifically come
Everybody.
Me and
Where's it come
me and Jose were after we
Debating.
maybe like 18 hours after we decided to start the band, I was like, okay, we gotta figure out something. So I was looking around, and our first pick was Astro Cat, which.
Okay.
And I was like,
Yeah, I kind of like that.
I was looking up like art to get me like a good idea of
A vibe.
like a vibe of what I wanted the band to be, and I really liked the cartoon style of Adventure Time, which is a show that I grew up watching. Oh God,
How old are you?
Because
19. I'm
I
only
was gonna say because you're a child.
I'm a child.
Hey, I'm 22 and I know that show. Hello.
But there's an episode.
No, I watched it, but as a grown woman,
Thank
like,
you.
not as a child. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
There's an episode, I don't know if you guys remember. There's an episode where the main character Finn finds a kingdom of cats that live inside boxes, and that was my favorite episode.
The
And
episode
it was
is
called
the
Box Prince.
Yeah.
And I was
called
like,
Box
there it
Prince.
is, right there. That's where the name came to be. It's kind
So, were you just watching Adventure Time that day, or did you just?
No, I was looking up like art because I wanted like the art to be like a cat in space, but I wanted the cat to
Oh,
be
and
in
so that
style.
cat came up.
So I was like, I came across the episode and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so much better than Astro Cat.
Cats are a common
Yeah, I
theme
kind of
within
like
this
Astro
band.
Cat too.
This is
That is weird.
Thinking about
That is
Christmas.
full circle
Oh,
come
man.
around right now. Oh my goodness, we need to stop with the cat thing.
Probably, yeah. No, I mean, if you're just looking
or
for
embrace
but-
it.
Or you could embrace it, yeah. So, how did you guys kind of come together?
Oh, man.
That's
You want me to
a
explain
long
or you?
story. We can both explain it.
Well,
Here,
How
you
about we
have
all
to-
explain it?
you know,
One time.
Everyone just talk at one time. We'll just try and figure it out later.
1, 2, 3.
Say it in French.
So, no, but I guess from our half, or like our half, it would be like we started the band,
Who's your half?
You mean our
and I mean like me and Trey's part of the story of how we came together. You
There's
know?
not a camera in here.
And true, sorry, yeah, me and Trey, we started the band, and we have had like half the musicians in Valdosta come through our band.
They make everyone makes a joke that no drummer survives Box Prince because he went through like 4 of them.
Jesus,
It's
yeah.
not looking good for you, dude.
Yeah, you look a little beat up over there.
I like to make the joke that no Box Prince survives this drummer.
So
he's still here.
So when we finally came to
No Box
a wall, we came to a wall. We were like, my God, we're serious about this, but it seems like everybody that would hop on our project wasn't until ta-da-da. So now you guys can explain your guys' part of the story of how you guys found us.
So I grew up in South Central LA.
Okay, we don't need that. We need to go like 27 years.
Oh, I think we had it was our first show, Soul Machine show at the DIY. It was our first.
No, I think it was our second.
I think it was
No,
our
yeah,
third.
it was a.
I think it was our 9th or 10th Soul Machine show. No, it was our third
first.
Soul Machine show. It was. Just shut up. Let me explain. And we played some music there with Soul Machine. And afterwards, Trey or Jose or somebody,
It was me.
I don't know,
Trey.
came up first and asked me if I wanted to play the sax with the band. He didn't ask me that. He asked if we wanted to talk about possibly playing with Box Prince. I think it was just like to jam out at first.
At first, I was like, no, this guy suck.
Well, Garrett didn't want to do it because like Garrett's a redneck, so he wasn't. He wasn't
That's not
feeling
true, is
the
it?
punk scene, but it was sort of true.
He's sitting here with very
Listen, man,
scuffed
he's got
leather,
his- he's
dark
He's sitting here
cowboy
with
boots.
boots tucked in.
Genuine ostrich. 3 bands.
It's true.
That's a genuine size 7.5 right there.
Listen, he's got his pants tucked into his
Women's
boots.
7.5.
Yeah, you have to be able to see them. You
Yeah,
gotta
he's
see
got
the
some
whole
pretty
boot.
boots.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Burgundy.
They are pretty boots.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Burgundy.
So yeah, that was how it all happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how to explain after that.
Well,
So
yeah,
how
Then we kept playing music.
Yeah.
after
Now we're
that.
here.
Yeah.
And now you're in this room. So how long ago was that you kind of...
It's like August?
September.
Beginning of August.
That long ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
September. I know it feels longer to me. I don't know.
Which is,
Like-
go ahead. Oh, okay. Which is actually kind of funny because Box Prince's 1-year anniversary is this month on the 29th. And me and Jose, which is actually really funny because the first drummer, we were all part of a really small pop punk band called September Avenue, which I
that's
actually started.
old. Yeah, that's
and we were
old.
all in the band at one point at separate times.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
But
it was
we
kind of-
didn't know each other,
Yeah.
or we knew of each other, but I didn't know Trey at all.
Yeah, he
but
like-
you were both in the band.
In the band at different points in the band's life.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Do you know that
'cause-
band?
I do not.
No. They,
Well, nobody does because it didn't go anywhere. I was
Yeah.
I was there for like the last bits of the dance.
Yeah, I was going to say I wasn't visiting
Very
garages
rocky
or
life.
anything, so unless they, went out into the world, I probably...
Well, everybody in the band but me moved away, and that shit. Hello.
Yeah.
So,
Trey.
so
Jose-
then, Trey left the band before it
Was it-
dissipated.
that's kind of funny because me and Jose worked for the same company, and we first met like it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a
I wasn't
February.
even supposed to work that day.
It was February 29th.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, and that night it was actually the first house show that Valdosta's had in a really long time.
And it kicked off everything.
It was Mama Stone, Hocus Pocus, and Junior Doubloons. And we had talked about
That was
playing music
fun.
before, and he was like, "No, man, I'm way too busy." And
That I
we
am.
went to the show together, and he texted me that night, and he was like, "So what do you want the band name to be?" And that's how everything started.
That's how we
And that's
became
it.
Junior Doubloons.
Shout out.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out
Stone.
to Alan, man.
Shout out to
Alan.
God almighty.
Yeah.
Shout out to Garrett.
He is a goat.
Just shout out the whole music scene in Valdosta.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone in Valdosta,
Yes,
for what
sir.
you've done.
We all grew up. We all grew in the scene together as musicians, and I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, we talk a lot about the DIY house. It's done a lot of great for the community. Back in my day, there was like William Street House and things like that, and then to have this come around was really cool. So you guys have played there. Where else have you guys kind of played?
Actually, Street Station.
That's the
Okay.
only other place
We
played at.
were going to play in Atlanta, but then we decided against it, and it turned out, it was for the better.
Yeah.
You guys know why. Like we're not going to get into that.
Okay.
But from the bands that did go and play, they were
weren't
like,
even in the
no,
band
we
at that
wow.
point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Holding out on
It was
We-
Bright. It was one of our old drummers.
Yeah, true. And we were gonna play up in Atlanta, but then we decided against it for a good reason, and that's
It was Music Midtown for like
Miracle Children.
Miracle Children, and I don't know if you've ever been to, or I know you've been to a Box
Yeah,
Prince
that doesn't
show,
seem
but
very fitting.
people throw elbows at our shows.
Yeah.
We're definitely not. I can't. I'm definitely not.
That's what we can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was a bust. It was
I doubt that the miracle children would be moshing at it.
That's right.
Precisely.
You never know.
So
They're like, oh, no screaming.
no loud.
Keep your stuff at a minimum because some children have hearing disabilities, and I was like,
exactly. And,
why are we
like no screaming, no loud music,
no
and
cursing.
we're like, are you kidding me? We are loud and we scream. Like we keep our amps at 11.
Yeah,
we're loud. We like that. So
yeah,
Right. Yeah. I'm glad that didn't work out then, because it's a
Precisely.
weird thing to get invited to.
we were probably gonna be banned. So we were like, no, let's not.
We have played at the DIY house quite a lot, which is no bad thing. That's like our home.
Are you kidding me? That's the best feeling ever.
We played our first show at the DIY house, which wasn't supposed to do that. And I told Alan, we were like, we have a really short set, and it's our first time, so can we please play? And he was like, oh yeah, go for it. And everyone perceived it very well, and we played I think the only time we took months apart was right after the Mama Stone reunion show, which was 3 months we hadn't played.
Yeah,
and then we played after that we played the first DIY show of 2020, and then now we actually have a show this Saturday.
Do it again
At the DIY house, which is
and Monday at Ashley Street Station.
Cool. Ashley Street's definitely always been very good for keeping music coming through as well. Brian's had it going for years and years and years.
They've been supporting the DIY music when there wasn't really much else to mention.
Brian's pulled some really cool acts over the years.
Oh yeah, Soul Machine recently.
I mean, I hear that he had Soul Machine. It's crazy. I know they're hard to get.
So at a lot of your shows that I've been to, you play a cover of Joyce Manor's "Constant Headache."
Oh yeah.
Are you still planning on keeping that as a staple in the set, or is that?
We kind of have a list of covers. That we haven't played that song in a while. we haven't played that song in a while, but we kind of like to keep a list of covers. We have "How Does It Feel" by Citizen. Life Sucks by Heart Attack Man.
Oh, love that song.
Constant Headache, Joyce Manor. We're actually about to add back.
A surprise.
It's a surprise.
That's a surprise.
But the only thing I will say is that we haven't played this song since the first Box Run show, so we're pretty excited.
It's making a comeback. It's
making its comeback.
Cool. Yeah, I think that Joyce Manor just really fits the sound of the band. So I wasn't sure if maybe is that one of your influences, or is just.
It's actually a funny story how we came to play that song.
Yeah, and we're compared to Joyce Manor, and I've heard it from bands that we nights that we haven't played the cover. Other bands coming by, they were like, "You guys, have you ever heard of a band called Joyce Manor?" I'm like, "Have I?"
I've only the only two comparisons I've ever gotten was Brand New and Joyce Manor. Those are the only bands I've ever gotten compared to.
Wow. I'm we don't deserve that. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah. But the drummer of Mama Stone told us, he's like, "You guys sound like them. You should cover this song. I think you guys would do pretty good." And I was like, I listened to it and I showed it to Jose and I was like, we could do it way better than they can. So let's do it. So we did it.
Oh, so they suggested you do
they suggested the song. And I think the first time we played that song, he was up at front like a mom. Was
a proud mom,
clapping and singing along with the words. Shout out to
Ryland.
Ryland. He was,
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, Mom. That's exactly what we said afterwards. Thanks, Mom.
So have you guys always been kind of tight with Mama Stone in that crowd?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I definitely before we actually even kicked off, I used to go to Mama Stone. I still do it every now and then. I go to Mama Stone practices. And it's kind of cool seeing them grow like that because they're very open to feedback, especially if you sit into others' practices.
Wait, didn't I first meet you there?
Yeah, that's right. I did. We did first meet them at a Mama Stone practice.
Yeah, because Soul Machine was doing a little.
It was because you guys first
them. Yeah, so we went over there to talk to them. I think.
And I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely, it was really cool because I sat in, it was like when they were like finishing up the song Revolt. And I was like putting in my feedback and to like brighten and everything. And it's really cool seeing the like process of that. And then now it's being recorded and
Well, you've known them for years, right? Like for a while.
Not years, but I've known Rylan for years.
Rylan saw me grow up because I used to,
Yes.
I used to go and get coffee from him from like since before Red Owls.
Yeah,
I think.
I was
you know.
gonna say shout out to Ryland, who is my age. We're not old, but
Yeah.
it's because we just interviewed them a couple episodes ago, and
Great
we
episode.
mentioned what it was like being at 30, and like how elderly that sounds to these people that I interview, and I'm like, it's fine,
Yeah, there's
fine.
nothing wrong with
it's
that.
fine, we're
It's
fine.
that half of the room that's young.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Thank you.
I was like 40.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I'm
Rylan
about to
and
turn
I.
49. I'm excited.
As you should be, of course. Yeah. No, Rylan and I were literally just like, we're still young. We just need naps more often. Like
That's
it's just
true.
you just have to take naps more.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to a show at 10. I better take a nap from 7 to 9.
I do that every day.
I'm gonna wake
take a
up 45
lunch
minutes
at work
before we
and
play
take
the
a nap.
show.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
worry.
serious.
I'll be there.
Naps are vital. Remember
They
that when
are.
you turn 30. Like, Desiree told me I got to take naps more. Better schedule them in.
I need to put that in my phone.
Yeah.
Desiree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
That's
said.
Take naps.
A reminder, 8 years down the road.
Yeah.
Desiree
Year
said take a nap.
2028.
Yeah. Take a nap. You'll thank me for it. Also, get a good pillow.
Yeah.
Your neck will hurt so much.
Waited 20,
Yeah, don't
21
even
years
know.
from now.
Weighted blankets are good.
Waited.
Yeah.
Consider a cat.
Chains
Yeah.
and
They're good.
coffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra coffee. You need more
A lot of
coffee.
coffee. A lot of coffee to get you through.
Yeah.
It actually helps before naps sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, caffeine
Weird.
doesn't even
Caffeine
bother
naps
me
are weird.
anymore.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You change. Yeah.
Yeah, you become a different person.
You do.
I'm
It's
not
a
looking
downward
forward to it.
spiral.
Your dreams are more vivid.
No, your
less
dreams
colorful.
are dead.
You really, really don't.
At the same time.
It's very clear when you're up.
You look back, you remember a simpler time
Yeah.
when you could jump into.
So
Do you have to
back
cut
to
that
the yeah, it's fine though.
He blurs it. He bleeps it. We try.
Okay, I'll stop.
Didn't
I
I
didn't know that
not
was
say
the
this
thing.
before we started?
No,
They're gonna
I
have
had
to
no idea.
bleep everything
I'm
that
sorry.
Tyler
It's
comes
all
out of his
good.
mouth.
Who's time?
So back to the whole Mama Stone thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Mama Stone recorded with Brad Singletary, and you guys also recorded with
Yeah,
Brad?
I don't think I will trust anyone else with. Shout out to Bradley Singletary.
Brad Singletary, the man.
I don't think I'm ever going to let anyone record my music unless we get signed to like a really big label. I don't think I'm gonna let.
He
anyone.
treats no for real like recording music, or at least that session. I think you guys have recorded music before, but like you guys being Tyler and Garrett, that was my first time in like a studio setting, and it was magical.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. I was like, wow, Brad treats it like a baby. Like really, like he was so excited to work on our song.
Oh yeah.
And no, he really was. He was like, I want to work on Cat. I want to work on Cat. We weren't
So
going to
give
record
it
Cat, but then when we decided that we were going to record Cat, he was so excited. Mm-hmm. He really was. He was like, oh, I'm so ready. And then like, whenever we saw the magic happen, we were ecstatic.
Yeah,
Just
you made it so-
wow.
Killed it.
Like Tyler was calling me when he heard it, and I was like, no, I haven't heard it. And then, we were calling each other like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
think I remember when we first got the link.
Yeah,
to the final demo. I was listening to it and I was like jumping around. I had studio headphones on and I was jamming out. And then Tyler called me. He's like, "Dude, did you hear that?" I was like, "Dude, I'm listening to it right now. Give me a minute."
Stop calling.
I still haven't heard it.
It's got almost 600 views on YouTube.
You played on it, I think. Yeah.
I think you did, I think you did like a wood
You did.
string
Yeah.
thing.
It was like a string thing.
Like the rain stick.
Doodly doodly.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Rainstick is an underrated instrument.
Underused, yeah.
People should be using rain
Really
sticks
different.
more often.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Garrett kills it, man. You got you to hear him play live.
You do have a rain stick, don't you?
Oh yeah.
It's sitting on the porch, isn't it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw it last night.
No, that was a mop.
Does it work?
No, it wasn't. That was not.
Does it work? I mean, in the fact that it's supposed to bring rain.
Are they supposed to bring rain, or do
I
they just
thought that
sound
was-
like
They
rain?
sound-
They just sound like rain.
I thought that was
Yeah,
the thing.
that's a whole other situation.
I mean, if
Oh,
you're,
maybe that's
if you're
just
that
like-
type of
Yeah.
If you believe
Yeah.
I think if,
Mostly it just sounds like
it
rain.
sounds like rain.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you kill a daddy longlegs, isn't that supposed to bring
What?
rain? I don't know. That's what my dad always
What?
told me.
I think your dad lied.
Lonely.
Anyway,
Dad? I have to talk to my dad when I get home.
God, okay, so we got so far.
sidetracked
We
a
got
little
so far gone.
Okay.
So you guys have just been playing locally. What are kind of your hopes for the future?
as far away as possible.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, that's mine anyway.
Yeah.
Realistically, we
wanna
have
be-
talking about hitting Florida for a while now, because the punk scene down there is
Yes.
pretty.
It's fun though.
It's so
Yeah.
far
I
away.
want to
too.
be part of
It's
that.
like 20 minutes away.
Oh, chill.
But I know Jacksonville would eat us alive, and Pensacola is a pretty good place too.
Gainesville.
Gainesville
yes.
too. Yeah.
That would be great.
They got that thing called Fest. I
A
don't know if you've
little
heard of it.
little
You know?
ditty called Fest. Yeah, just
I was
a little
actually down
thing.
there. I saw Dalton down there.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
tiny
Good time there.
tiny
It's
event.
fun.
Nothing major.
No, it wasn't huge.
But I think
We
we're
should
gonna
play, like live up.
we're gonna
Ooh yeah, get down to Swanee.
Yeah, sure.
Madison, Miami. Let's go to Miami, guys.
Miami. Yeah.
Miami.
Mr. Worldwide.
This is a big
but-
town called Jennings.
What? Let's go play in Jennings.
But I think we're gonna come out with one more single, and then at the start of the summer we have a pretty big project. I'm not gonna spoil anything. 'Cause I know how much everyone likes a cliffhanger, but we're definitely coming out with a collection of music. We've been saying it.
A group of songs.
A group of songs under one title.
One title.
One band.
One.
One title.
4 boys.
17.
4 boys.
Right. Okay.
But that's definitely not till like the beginning of summer break, and we're trying our hardest to make as much money as possible from now until that point. So when that collection comes out, we can. What do you want? You want me to
No, it's fine.
After that, we have something to promote when we go out of town instead of saying, "Oh, we have this song."
That's fair enough. I think that's a pretty valid thing. So during the day, you're not all baristas, right?
Just 2 of us.
2 baristas. What do you guys do?
Drug dealers.
We're both on.
Shout out.
You want to say that? You want to say that a little closer to the microphone?
We're both drug dealers.
We'll go ask our crime reporter.
Cut it out. Please.
It's called the Cocaine Collective.
No.
Yeah,
No, I don't want to be
that's our
associated
LLC.
with that.
Yeah.
No, but we both work construction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I just always ask. Most people in bands, it's pretty similar. We get a lot of construction, a lot of barista, a lot of food service, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of drug dealers.
Yeah.
It's
That's just.
I'm a music teacher on the side.
So
That's
if
honestly
anyone wants
the-
to hit me up, can I give my number out? I'm serious.
Don't do that.
It's the only way I can kind of like stay afloat is like have that little income and then like my little income as a barista as well, because it's kind of hard. I'm a student, so at the same time. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
just-
do both as well.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
exactly.
is anyone
Tyler
else a
too.
student?
Tyler
That's-
too. You know,
I am as well.
we have that responsibility of having to balance like our jobs, school, and the band.
It's
Right.
terrible.
And it's hard, but we put
That's
our
why I look like this.
we pour our love and passion into it because
Yeah.
it's
Thank
our
God it's not
babies.
video.
Yeah. What do you guys study?
I study biology.
Okay.
Yeah.
I study marketing. Yeah.
Fun. Fun.
So you are a music teacher. What do you teach?
Yeah. Just about anything actually. I'm a lover of the basics, the rudiments.
Mushrooms.
I believe. That's biology. I tell people if you can dominate the rudiments, you can dominate like music. So so many times it occurs that guitarists, like they're riffing around and whatever, and they don't know. You ask them what they're doing, and they cannot tell you. A lot of people play. Terry's pointing.
So
at
do you
stuff
teach
right now,
the bands and stuff?
So here and there, because I know it's a boring subject, like music theory and whatever. But I'm a sucker for it. Like I love identifying, and me and Garrett talk about this a lot, right? Like we're like, what mode is that in? Or it's like, wow, is that what kind of that? It was like, yeah,
The professionals of the band.
yeah, like we love that. Well, like we nerd out over like the little music theory stuff, like wow, that's a raised whatever, that's a raised fourth.
I mean,
a lowered sixth.
Oh, that's a guitar.
Yeah. So, I love that. And I always, I teach kids, primarily kids. I don't have anybody my age right now. I used to teach adults. I found they were very hard to teach. And by adults, I mean like people who are like 40.
Right.
And they're hard to teach because they just don't take criticism from a 22-year-old like me. And I'm like, well, go learn elsewhere, So I primarily do kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a lot harder to learn things as an adult. I did a whole
They
thing.
get cranky.
Yeah.
I did a whole thing on that. I actually I took bass lessons at Ben Owens for a while, and it was much harder for me to try and learn how to play bass as I was in my 20s then. But as an adult versus whenever I was in like elementary, middle, and high school learning to play like clarinet and stuff.
Oh,
like
true.
that stuck with me, and now I'm
Yeah,
trying to learn
that- I
bass, and I'm just
remember.
like, oh, my hands don't.
God.
My hands don't
Being a
do
kid,
this.
I taking drum lessons.
You
It
couldn't
became
learn?
like that, like
Me
everything.
Me and Tyler
like 18?
definitely.
Yeah.
Me and Tyler definitely share that high school drumming thing because we were
Yeah.
both drummers in high
lines.
school.
Yeah, drum lines.
Are you all from Valdosta?
No.
I am.
I'm from Atlanta.
Oh, you're
Garrett's
the only
from
one.
Brooks County.
Yeah.
I was part of a military family, so
Yeah.
I don't even know where home is.
Okay.
So I feel like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Your heart is.
yes,
Yeah.
let's turn this into a wholesome moment. But
Yes.
I feel like with this band, I have found a home,
Okay.
and
He's
we're
just
about to
saying that.
cry.
He's just saying that because we're being recorded.
Find a new drummer.
I'm from Michigan, so
What was that?
I'm from Michigan.
Point at Tyler.
What? What are you doing? What are you referring to?
Cut that out.
Or the video out.
Video. I'm so glad this is not a.
Yeah, no, we've talked about it before, and we don't think it would go well.
No.
But we have
This
discussed.
would be a disaster.
We
Not
have
with the way I
discussed
look.
making it a video. God knows. Okay, so
I think it'd be fun to do.
Good
it.
effort.
it
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, you could do like post it on YouTube as a video, but
Yeah.
still post it on Spotify.
yeah,
as
there's a lot of
audio.
podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still sort of figuring out what we're trying to do.
yeah, we still gotta work it all out. But we enjoy being here together. It's a fun
This
time.
is great.
And
I
we
love
want to
this.
thank you guys.
Yeah,
for doing
absolutely,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
I've been super pumped up about this
This. Yeah.
all week. So.
We
We
appreciate
appreciate
it.
y'all taking the time to come down here, especially after work. It's we usually get a lot of touring bands, and they take the whole week off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they don't have to
Yeah.
worry necessarily so much about work. They just got to get to their load in. Whereas getting local bands, it's like you have to arrange schedules and stuff. So I know it's a little bit harder for you guys.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate y'all coming in.
Absolutely.
It's a long drive.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it seems like you really struggled to get out here.
It's hard.
Since we were like
It was
25
tough,
minutes
Yeah.
behind.
One thing that I've been asking everyone, which I asked Mama Stone, and I don't know when I started asking people, but we'll have them do it anyway.
I think it was Rona.
It may have been Rona.
Little
what's the
Rona.
question?
So, if you could play with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And I do this because I really like to get the idea of like what you guys are into, kind of outside of this.
like,
So so like you can bring someone back from the dead, but you would be playing with them. So in the
I'm
yeah.
unworthy.
Or you can play on the same bill. That's another thing you're kind of going back and
you
forth
could,
on.
yeah, we did debate that. So if you
So
wanted to just
a
be on the
Beethoven
same
bill.
bill.
would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of know that answer already because I admire Caleb Shomo from the front man of Beartooth. I aspire to be everything that man is. And if you ever see Beartooth perform, you will see Jose Camacho jumping around with his bass. Yeah, no, for real. You're like, oh my God. Like, how have they not passed out from performing?
Yeah.
Because I love that energy, you know.
That's
Shout out Beartooth.
Shout out Beartooth.
Yeah.
Shout out Beartooth.
TM.
If you're listening.
TM, yeah.
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 Oh goodness. A band that I would love to play in or with. I have actually two. These are bands that I grew up listening to. There's Korn and the Deftones.
Yeah.
Those were.
That is
Not Korn, but I love Deftones.
Yeah. My mom like put me on that at a very young
Korn,
age,
McConnell.
and like we're actually going to see. Me and my mother it's on our bucket list to see Deftones live, and they're playing at Rockville this year.
Oh,
Nice.
So
cool.
we're definitely gonna go
Gonna
do
get
that.
tickets to Rockville.
Buy tickets
Who's
now.
headlining Rockville right now?
That's Metallica and Deftones on the first day.
I was
Oh,
going
nice.
to say I didn't really keep up this year, but I went down to Rockville a couple years ago and interviewed bands and stuff
Really?
like that. So
That's
that was really
awesome.
fun. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
That's cool.
I saw Deftones at Shaky Knees like
Really?
2016.
Oh, you've been to Shaky Knees?
Yeah, a couple
Cool.
times. With
A
press.
couple times. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason why is because press is
Yeah.
very expensive.
With our press
but
badges.
go Shaky Knees if you're listening.
Yeah. Shout out to Rockville and Shaky Knees.
Yes.
We're here for you. I enjoyed Rockville. Thanks, welcome to
Sponsor
Rockville
us.
for
Put
letting
us on the
me-
bill, please.
for letting me do that.
Oh,
Garrett.
Garrett,
what's the question again?
Man,
what's your
Go ahead.
middle
Back to
name?
live.
Yeah. If
I
you
don't
could
know.
perform with anyone dead or alive.
I have like a whole book of
top 3.
Yeah, maybe
top
just
3.
Like
Yeah.
Billie Eilish.
Billy Eyelash.
Jimi Hendrix,
Okay.
Okay.
Thin Lizzy,
Okay.
Black Sabbath,
Keep going.
Please keep going, actually, yes.
James Brown,
Bobby Brown.
Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Ooh.
Robert Trower, Led Zeppelin, Baby Huey, Miles Davis. Can we keep going?
He's listing.
I mean, you know.
He's listing
Frank Zappa.
every like 40-year-old man's playlist on Pandora.
You do have a
classic
very
rock.
specific.
Mama Stone.
Can I change my answer?
Hocus
Shout out
Pocus.
Mama Stone.
Are they dead?
Yeah,
Can we,
Hocus Pocus.
like, dead or alive? Like,
Yeah.
they're dead? Mama Stone?
Mama
Yeah.
Stone,
I
if
was
you're
going to say Mama
listening to
Stone,
this,
yeah.
Some of them are,
Some of them.
I think. Yeah.
contact me.
Seance.
Yeah.
Probably the first sentence
think
Garrett
it's a
ever
strong-
spoke to me when I first met him was,
Black Sabbath.
"You ever heard of Thin Lizzy?"
Yeah, that's true.
Tyler was there for that. Yeah, Tyler was there
And you
for
were
that.
like, no.
I'm like, and then once I looked him up, I'm like, oh yeah, they're, you know, like their music is
Yeah.
like very popular. So I was like, yeah, of course, you know.
Very popular.
You know.
That's
Very popular.
that's actually that's a great opening line. Have you ever heard of Thin Lizzy? Like,
Yeah, it's a pickup
It's
line.
a good band
It's my
name,
favorite
actually.
pickup line.
yeah, it's a great.
That's how I'm gonna
great
start
pickup
picking up
line.
girls
Just-
now. You ever heard of
Swept
Box
me on my
Prince?
feet.
We should make a song. Have you ever heard of Thin Lizzy?
Okay, yeah.
Your turn.
Your turn, Ty.
Yeah.
Tell us to listen to music.
Yeah, I'm not much
Tyler's
of a
deaf.
musician myself. I like weird stuff. I really do. Yeah, like
We share the love of math rock.
I love the Squirrel Nut Zippers.
Is that actually a band?
I like progressive jazz. I also listen to really weird, obscure alternative country. Yeah.
Can we keep going with my list?
Tyler hasn't said one band yet.
Okay. Let's get a little mainstream.
It's cool. That's
I
fun.
love 311.
Okay.
They're on tour right now.
Who's that?
You could just get on
It's a
there.
number.
You
I just like the number.
311 Storm of the Incubus right now. Weirdly.
I love Incubus as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Love Incubus. I've seen them many times.
You guys are almost done.
Yeah.
Shut up, Brandon Boyd is so great. You let Brandon Boyd exist.
I think that's enough. Yeah, I love Rush. If we're talking about old school.
There we go.
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I love funk.
He introduced me to Wolfpack. Now I'm vibing so hard.
Wolfpack. It's supposed to sound like Wolfpack, but like it forces you to have a German accent over it, and it's beautiful. Wolfpack.
Can we cut that out?
Can we just cut every time Tyler speaks?
Can we like start over?
Can I just like cut you?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Some tension in this
Sublime.
office.
Sublime. Oh yeah. Okay.
Trey is wearing a Sublime shirt
Yeah, I love
for the
Reggae
people
music.
listening.
I love reggae music.
Hey. Sometimes we get 5 listeners. We're
Oh.
doing great.
Wait, shout out Chad Smith. I'm still talking.
Go ahead.
You hear that?
I'm not too crazy about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I do like some of their music, but Chad Smith's an animal. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
He's one of my favorite drummers.
Nice.
What's your opinion on Fleet?
Flea's also an animal. Like,
A lot of people I know, they either absolutely just think Flea's incredibly overrated, or they think he's.
I mean, I do think he's overrated, but he was like an innovator.
What kind of animal is he? A flea?
He's a flea.
How old is Flea now?
He's like in
He's
his
old.
50s.
He's old,
Yeah.
yeah.
The slap bass.
Yeah, but he brought like a modern vibe to that slap bass style. Like they changed it up.
That's cool.
Yeah,
He's
very
57.
funky.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You think he takes naps?
well, I
Every
think
day.
he's like
Yeah, every
permanently napping.
Can I also add a band on mine? I just realized this.
Yeah, I got some more too.
Garrett's got like 15 more. He's like reading it off the palm of his hand. One band that I did also grow up listening to, and are very big inspirations into the way I write music today. Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
add that to mine too.
They're about to go into it too, right?
I like
Yeah.
that you're acting like we're writing this down. Like, add that to my list. Alright.
Yeah.
Like,
You got
that?
that?
Feel like later we're gonna
Is anyone
contact
writing this down?
Do you want me to spell it?
we're gonna contact them later and be like, hey, we interviewed these guys.
Turns like 22 pages of bands.
The Valdosta Daily Times is
Hit
the
'em up.
doorway into the music industry.
Yeah, we're
We
just
have
gonna
always
call-
said that.
We have connections to Rage Against the Machine. We're just gonna call them later, like,
Oh,
hey,
yes.
pal.
They're actually calling me
Hey,
right
pals.
now. It's getting really annoying. I keep having to decline. I'm in an interview.
Well, I think we've covered a lot, and I think this has been a good, fun experience
Absolutely.
for us all.
Yes.
That was fun for now.
Glad it was
Have
fun.
you had fun? Have you? Are
Glad
you
you
not
had fun.
entertained?
Somebody send them pictures that we've already taken, because right now I look like I died yesterday. Yeah.
That's how we like
We'd
it.
like to take a picture.
We took one picture.
But if you want to take the picture, we'll say you took the
Yeah,
picture.
actually, can you fill in as
Like
me?
Photoshop me.
Oh my god!
Dalton's actually just gonna fill in at the show.
Yeah, actually, can you just take over the whole little ditty thing I do?
The drummy thing?
The
Yeah.
drummy thing. I don't know, whatever I do.
Play Paradise.
Yeah, just the drumming
Yeah.
thing. We do have pins for everyone.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
oh yeah, you know, we do what we can here at Off the Record PDT.
So,
Cool.
where can we find your music?
Oh man,
Everywhere.
everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
your heart.
In
So
your
Spotify, Apple Music, all that
At the
stuff.
DIY house.
Memorize Yeah.
At the DIY house Saturday,
Yeah,
the
that's
15th
it.
of. What month is it?
In the human.
February. Yeah, you know, the main stuff like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. We even have it on Instagram TV. We have it Napster. And a whole bunch of like
Actually, I
weird.
just found this. I just found this out a couple days ago. Is Cat is on
LimeWire.
TikTok.
Napster.
Oh yeah, it's
Aw,
on yeah, that's
What?
right.
Please send me all of your TikToks using that. Please.
I was going to say, because again, these guys are children, so TikTok, relevant.
I'm-
Super relevant.
True.
It's not just for kids.
I'm the only
Tag
child.
guy.
The whole
Yeah.
broom thing, I'm pretty sure that came from TikTok.
The whole broom
that's
thing
been going on
happens
right now.
all the time. You could always
It
make
does,
your broom stand
but
up.
like the whole trend
The
of that.
gravitational field has not changed.
Everyone on my Facebook is like, "Oh my gosh, look at my broom," and I'm like, "We
Gravity's-
graduated high school together. I'm
Gravity's
pretty
a
sure
little
you
bit
should know,
stronger.
but like,
Have you
this
not
is-
heard of the broom
You
thing?
can stand
No.
things
I'll
up.
look it up
Stand
later.
up.
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
Look it up. We're
Yeah.
not swinging this to you.
Okay, no, that's fine.
It-
Living under a rock.
It literally, like Wednesday morning, just everybody had brooms.
Listen, let's
Yeah,
hurry this up. I
it's-
gotta go to bingo tonight. I'm actually serious.
You're gonna walk with your cane to bingo?
Yes,
Please, you actually do go to
I'm
bingo.
actually going to bingo.
All right,
Wow.
that's a.
We are a cultured band.
I think
okay?
I think me and Tyler have to have a
So-
talk after this interview.
Upcoming shows Saturday, February 15th.
And then Monday, for Metal Monday
Starts in
at
15 minutes.
Ashley Street. The cover is $5, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're playing a pretty nasty set, so it's going to be awesome.
Social media, people can follow you.
Box Prince Official on Instagram. What's our Twitter?
Our Twitter's Box Prince Band, and that's because Box Prince Official didn't fit the at. So at Box Prince Band, Box Prince Official on Facebook, Insta.
I'll call you back. I promise.
Garrett's mom called.
We have interrupted a phone call with
We're out here trying to plug in our band, and Garrett's on the phone over here calling his hose like.
We've actually watched a band fall apart here today on Off the Record. As one answered the phone.
I think it's good. I really do think it's good.
That was my best friend. Shout out to John Brooks.
Shout out to Mom.
Oh, tell your mom I missed her.
Oh, that was John Brooks? Damn, I should have said that.
Shout out to Janice Martin.
All right, I'll call John Brooks now.
Yeah, let's
Actually, let's give a big shout out to Garrett's mom.
Oh,
who
yes,
listens
for
to
letting
us
us
play.
smash apart her house with
Yeah.
our
For like
practice
3
sessions.
hours.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, God bless her. I love
Yeah.
Janice.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
She's the Box Prince mom.
Yes, Box Prince Mom.
That's
Devil
precious.
Devil horns.
Devil horns.
Wow.
Rock out.
Does your
I
mom
hope
go to
she
your
listens to
shows?
this.
She's.
No.
I don't think she might survive a Box Prince show.
She might.
She might actually
If
go
she
to the
stands-
Yeah, I'll
ass.
call
If
you
she
back in an
stands-
interview.
If she stands
Can we
far
not
enough-
be these dirtbags right now?
I called him to tell him that.
Hey, I can't talk. Leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'll call you back, man.
I
We
guess
gotta
we'll
go.
wrap it up.
Unless
you guys have anything else to say.
Do you have anything else to say?
My God, we.
I do. When is this gonna be out? Is this gonna be out before
I'm gonna try to get it done before the show.
Dalton
Before the
does all
show?
Dalton does all the
Okay.
booking.
I do have this one thing to say for the Saturday show, is we're doing a discount on T-shirts if you kiss one of us on the cheek, and we get a Polaroid of
Oh, I
it.
need to shave.
No, don't shave.
No, it's disgusting. I don't know.
So you get little Polaroid, Valentine's Day Polaroid, and you also get $5 off a T-shirt.
Bring your Valentines.
Bring your
And mosh.
Valentines, or don't. 'Cause
Or don't.
we base the set list to be
I'll
like
make out with your mom.
anti-Valentine.
I'm gonna make sure I'm bathed for this.
Come cry.
Please come cry with
Come
me.
cry and rage.
I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna have some tearjerkers lined up.
Cry, rage, and be
some-
alone.
Are you lonely? Come to a Box Prince show.
Some new show,
a
some new
motto.
songs.
Yeah, cry, rage, and be alone.
If you're depressed, come to a Box Prince
Yes.
show. We won't make it better, but
If you're cuffed, bring your Valentine to a Box Prince show. But
yeah,
Yeah.
just come
come
alone
out.
and we'll cuff you after the show.
I do. I love that phrase. If you're cuffed.
If you're cuffed.
Yeah.
I
If you're
thought
cuffed.
it was something else.
Cuffed.
I thought that was something you were going to have to
You know, like-
I really like that. I like that term.
Cuffs in
If you're
Spanish is esposas. And una esposa means like a wife. So the wife is literally a
Oh
cuff.
my
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. That's horrible.
No, I did my study abroad in Costa Rica. I knew
Spanish.
that.
Oh my God.
But I am surprised you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I am.
What's
Again,
E-Man in Spanish?
20 years ago in my study abroad program.
20 years ago.
when
20
I was
years
but a
ago,
wee
I
child.
was
I'm kidding.
You were not-
obviously.
I
It
was not even
yeah.
premeditated.
We're not
No,
even
it was-
thought about yet.
Still not.
I went to
going
Costa
to
Rica in
Disney.
college
I'm
when I
still
was like
not talking
22. It's fine. It
That's
wasn't that
true.
long ago.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, not 20 years ago.
I was playing
I was
hockey.
10, 20 years ago.
So roughly 5 minutes ago, we talked about their shows, where you can find them on music and stuff.
And then we rambled. So ignore
But no,
all that.
I think this has been fun. So
That's what Dalton says whenever
This
he
is-
is just wanting to get rid of everything. This has
not
been
how I
fun.
feel at all.
Please
I
get out
told
of
you
this
guys,
room.
not at all. This is a terrible idea.
Yeah, I
really
We
do.
are a mess.
Well, this was actually
It
very,
takes us an
reserved.
hour to
It
wrangle up.
was very
practice.
reserved. But, yeah.
Trying
Look,
to
he's got to make it to bingo, Dalton. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up,
this
Dalton!
has been Off the Record with Box Prince. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Busted knees and crooked